Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingnay Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include unprovoked attack on Jiribam's Zairon Kuki village claims life of mother of three. Homes reduced to ashes. Kuki NP of the area condemned. Sangaikot Subdivision Chief Association denounces Meitei government's attempt to repair Suknu-Macau Iron Bridge. ITLF condemns KCP PWG occupation of Kuki-Zo village, slams government in action on Meitei terrorist threats. Supreme Court agrees to examine whistleblower audio tapes against Manipur CM Biren Singh. News in details. In a shocking and unprovoked assault, the tranquility of Jiribam's Zairon Mar Kuki village was shattered by an armed attack late last evening that left a trail of destruction, grief and despair. At around 8:30 p.m. Thursday evening, a group of armed militants speaking in Manipuri language suspected to be Arambai Tengol and the valley-based insurgent groups attacked the small close-knit community, unleashing terror resulting in a tragic loss of life and the destruction of homes. The attack claimed the life of Jo Sang Kim, wife of Ngurthan Sang, a resident of Zairon Mar Kuki village. In a horrifying turn of events, the beloved mother of three was killed during the onslaught and her home was set ablaze, engulfing her in flames, leaving her children and husband to mourn her tragic death and grappling with intense loss and trauma. During the assault, the armed militants set fire to 7 homes, displacing multiple families who now have only charred remains of what once was their village. Witnesses recounted scenes of chaos as flames engulfed homes, turning a peaceful evening into a night of horror. The Mar Kuki tribe, known for its peaceful existence, is now in mourning and in shock over the unwarranted violence. The attack is yet another grim reminder of the intensifying communal violence that has plagued the region. On the other hand, the Kuki NP Jiribam, Tamenglong and Nonay, KIJTN vehemently condemned the act of brutally killing Jo Sang Kim, wife of Ngurthan Sang of Zairon village, Jiribam, yesterday night, that is 7 November 2024. The Kuki NP condemned the brutality of Meitei militants where the injured woman due to bullet wounds in her leg was burned beyond recognition. Such act of violence against innocents and women is a crime against humanity which befits condemnation by every right-thinking person. The Kuki NP is appalled to learn that Meitei militants along with members of Arambai Tengol were freely attacking Zairon village, Jiribam, leading to burning down of more than 16 houses in spite the presence of heavy security forces in the village. The tactic support of government machinery in perpetuating the violence by providing free movement bypassing all security establishment and road to Zairon village is equally condemnable. The Kuki NP Jiribam, Tamenglong and Nonay had been toiling hard for peace in Jiribam area since the past 1 year but was shattered due to killing of Saigolin Singson of Paidol. The incessant attack carried out by Meitei militants in Jiribam clearly shows that they are hell-bent on escalating violence in Jiribam. The Kuki NP appraises the concerned authority to initiate appropriate justice to this pogrom by providing amicable solution to both the warring communities. Tensions continue to rise in the Kuki territories as the Sangaikot Subdivision Chief Association SSDCA has strongly condemned the Meitei government's recent actions regarding the Suknu-Macau Iron Bridge located between T. Lailoipai and Suknu in the Macau area. The bridge, which was destroyed by Meitei militants in a fire on May 28, 2023, has now become a flashpoint in the ongoing conflict, with the Meitei government attempting to repair it under controversial circumstances. According to a statement from the SSDCA, widely circulated on social media on November 6, 2024, Chief Minister N. Singh of the Meitei government, along with the local MLA from Kumbi constituency, is accused of secretly dispatching a team to survey and inspect the bridge. The SSDCA claims that this act is part of a broader attempt to circumvent the established norms of the buffer zone that separates Kuki and Meitei territories. The SSDCA alleges that the repair of bridge is a guise for more sinister motives. The exclusive intention behind these actions is not to restore infrastructure, but to create a foothold for Meitei forces and their VBIG, Vigilant and Border Intelligence groups, to intrude into Kuki territories under the pretense of repairing the bridge, the association stated. The bridge, they argue, lies within the buffer zone, a sensitive area currently under the protection of Central Armed Police Forces (CAPF). This marks the second attempt by the Meitei government, according to SSDCA, to repair the Suknu-Macau Iron Bridge, despite the bridge being within a contested buffer zone and the ongoing conflict. The statement further emphasizes that the region has witnessed widespread destruction, with more than 200 Kuki villages reportedly burned down by Meitei militants since the conflict erupted. At present, many Kuki villages in districts such as Chandil, Churachandpur, and Kangpopi remain inaccessible, heightening the atmosphere of mistrust. The SSDCA has made it clear that it will not accept any repairs of the Suknu-Macau Iron Bridge until the Indian government acknowledges and acts upon the Kuki community's demand. Solution first, then peace. They argue that the bridge is situated within the sensitive buffer zone and should remain under the guard of central forces to ensure no further escalation of violence. The statement concluded with a stern warning to the Meitei government and its associated groups. Any attempts by the Meitei government and their VBIGs to repair the bridge or take action in violation of the buffer zone's sanctity will be held responsible for any untoward incidents, the SSDCA declared. The actions of N. Singh and his VBIGs will have serious consequences, and we will not tolerate any encroachment upon Kuki territories. As the situation continues to unfold, the SSDCA's firm stance on the issue is expected to further inflame tensions in an already volatile region. Both sides are calling on authorities to respect the established boundaries and to prioritize a peaceful resolution on the conflict. Though with deepening visions, it remains unclear how soon any such resolution may come. The Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum (ITLF) has strongly condemned the recent occupation of Kangchup Patzang village in Kangpopi district located within Kuki-Zo territories by armed cadres of the Meitei Kangleipak Communist Party (KCP-PWZ). The militant group, equipped with advanced weaponry, is accused of violating buffer zones and encroaching deep into Kuki-Zo lands, further escalating tensions in the region. In a statement released today, the ITLF described the actions of the KCP-PWZ as a direct challenge to ongoing peace efforts and a sign of the growing militarization of Kuki-Zo territories. The forum blamed the Indian government for its perceived inaction and complicity in allowing Meitei militants to operate with impunity, despite growing evidence of human rights violations. The statement also criticized Manipur Chief Minister N. Singh, alleging his active involvement in the systematic violence against Kuki-Zo communities. The ITLF pointed to the controversial Manipur tapes, which they claim expose Singh's role in orchestrating violence, yet he remains in power without facing any accountability. The forum warned that the government's failure to act is emboldening these militant groups and leaving Kuki-Zo communities increasingly vulnerable. ITLF leaders called on the government of India to ban militant groups like Arambai Tengol and ensure that Meitei militant camps are confined to Meitei majority areas. They also urged the government to take swift action to prevent further encroachments on Kuki-Zo lands. In a strong message, the ITLF states that the Kuki-Zo people would defend themselves if such incursions continue. They also warned that the Indian government would be held fully accountable for any negative consequences arising from its inaction. The ITLF concluded by emphasizing the urgent need for the government to act decisively to protect Kuki-Zo communities and secure lasting peace in the region. In a vibrant showcase of solidarity and community spirit, OSIS College Kangpokpi, in collaboration with the Kuki Students Organization Sadar Hills and supported by the Committee on Tribal Unity KOTU, organized a landmark Run for Unity Marathon to mark Rashtriya Ekta Diwas. The 7-kilometer run attracted over 500 young participants from across the Kangpokpi district, all united by a common cause, promoting peace, unity, and national integration. The marathon, which began at Kaitelmanbi military colony and concluded at the Kangpokpi district headquarters, was officially flagged off by Thangmang Chongloi, Vice President of Kuki in Sadar Hills Youth Affairs. His presence, along with the enthusiasm of the participants, ignited a powerful spirit of unity as runners navigated the course towards Brigadier M. Thomas Ground. Alongside the Kuki in Sadar Hills and KOTU, community leaders and residents applauded the participants, reflecting the deep community-wide support for this mission of unity. Dr. Thatang Vaipay, chairman of OSIS College Kangpokpi's Board of Management, addressed the gathering with an inspiring message, emphasizing the event's broader significance in promoting resilience and unity amid challenging times. This marathon represents more than a test of physical endurance, Dr. Vaipay noted. It's a testament to our community's unwavering commitment to harmony and peace. Today, we declare that unity is our strength and vision for the future is one of resilience and togetherness. Dr. Vaipay further highlighted the importance of educating youth on social issues, particularly the menace of drugs abuse, while promoting values of integrity, unity, and peaceful coexistence. We aim to empower our youth to reject the destructive path of drugs, understand the value of unity, and embrace a future rooted in peace and integrity, he added passionately. Let this marathon be the foundation of a community built on strength, harmony, and shared values. The winners of the marathon were celebrated with cash prize and citations acknowledging their dedication and resilience. Lalkumang Kipgen of Sompung Village claimed the top spot in the boys category, while Ningun Num Chongloi of Kholmunveng, Ward number 14, won first place in the girls category, each awarded Rs 5,000 and a certificate of recognition. In the boys division, second and third places went to Lin Gomang Kipgen of Tui Somjang and Mangkhan Lin Kipgen of S. Pailingkot, who received Rs 3,000 and Rs 2,000 respectively. In the girls division, Lingboy Kim Hong Sait of Saikul and Hatnei Vatlovum of E. Song Pizang took the second and third places, earning cash awards and citations. Additionally, the top 20 runners in both categories were acknowledged for their efforts and presented with certificates. The event concluded with a moving prayer led by Reverend Zanggin Chongloi, Secretary of the Kangpokpi Town Church's Fellowship, invoking blessings for continued peace, strength, and unity within the community. The Kuki Reformation Forum, KREF, the Thado Tribe Council TTC General Headquarters, and the War Kuki-Zo Intellectual Council WKZIC General Headquarters writes to Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity Kokomi, reminding it of the crucial role played by Hongzai Kukis in reclaiming Kanglei Paktron by Raja Gambhir Singh in 1826. The letter by the Kuki body said that Chahi Taret Huntakpa, or 7 years devastation 1819 to 1826 in the history of Manipur of the Meitei Manipuris meant the abandoning of Kanglei Manipur by the Meiteis during the reign of Maharaja Gambhir Singh for 7 years against the Burmese invasion. During the period, the total population of Inner Manipur Valley inhabited by the Meiteis and Outer Manipur Hills inhabited by the Hongzai Kukis and the Kacha Nagas were about 5 lakhs. During these 7 years from 1819 to 1826, the Burmese occupied Kangleipak Kingdom and all the Meiteis escaped to Qatar of Assam and other neighboring kingdoms. The hills remained undisturbed by the Burmese, which was guarded by the Hongzai Kuki chieftaindoms, as usual during the Burmese occupation of Kanglei Manipur from 1819 to 1826. During the reign of Pamheiba 1744 to 1951, Interim 1751 to 1756 and Boromba 1756 to 1768. The Burmese repeatedly invaded Manipur in 1756, 1768, 1776 and 1794 respectively. At the time of the Burmese invasion, Raja Chingthang-Homba 1768 to 1798 abandoned his throne and palace for taking refuge at Kuki chief Kai Khulal. The Raja of Manipur fled for protection to the house of Hongsat Kuki's father, where he ate only ga beans for several months. When the Burmese left the valley, he returned home with Hongsat fathers and Kai Khulal Kuki. So the Manipuris have always treated the Kukis with respect since then, said the letter. Some of the striking points, apart from many century relationships between the Meiteis and the Hongzai or Kukis, connections and relationships which had broken down on the 3rd of May 2023 to be departed politically, socially, economically, psychologically and emotionally forever are the hidden agenda of burning down of the Central Library located at the heart of capital Imphal in 2005 was purely a scamming to erase Kuki history, where more than 10 crores workbooks, documents, maps, etc., 90%, mostly with colonial Kuki history, were burned down. Since N. Biren Singh became the Chief Minister of Manipur, all Kuki areas included in political Manipur were declared as protected forests, reserve forests, wildlife sanctuary, wetland, etc. Whereas there is no such in Ukhrul district of Manipur except Siroi National Park in 1982, where area orchid is protected by the Indian government, that too under community-led conservation. Manipur government issued orders for dismantling monoliths and centenary gates of Anglo-Kuki War 1917 to 1990. Within 2 days, all Kukis from capital Imphal were evicted and all their colonies from Greater Imphal burning down, numbering to 200 Kuki villages, killing 203 and burning down 256 Kuki churches. N. Biren Singh and various anti-Kuki groups objected monoliths of Anglo-Kuki War 1917 to 1919 centenary in 2019, which was recorded as Kuki Rising by the British and as Kuki Rebellion by Indian historians. To plunder on Kuki history, the Coordination Committee on Manipur Integrity, COCOMI, has recently stated that the Meiteis will commemorate 1917 to 1919 Kuki War as Chingakham War, a Meitei villain who sought the help persuaded Kukis for the throne of Ningthauza dynasty of Kanglei, Manipur. The Community Health Center Singat, in partnership with the Assam Rifles under the aegis of Inspector General Assam Rifles, South, organized a one-day capacity building and training of teachers, ASALs and A&M under the National Oral Health Program. 36 ASALs and A&M from Bihing, Jizhou, and Singat undergo training under Dr. Thangin Mang, District Nodal Officer, National Health Program, Churachandpur. Dr. Rita Gangte, Joint Director, Manipur Health Services, and Commandant Dr. Lamin Thang Sing Son and Dr. Steve M. Tungnung, MOIC, inspected the event. The event was also attended by Dr. Jose Mate, MOIC Bihing, and internees doctors posted in CAC Singat. A total of 224 patients received free dental care and medicines from Dr. Heling, Senior Dental Surgeon, Dr. Siampui, Dental Surgeon, and staff nurse. Manipur police conducted a raid in connection with the abduction and assault case of 23-year-old railway driver Joshua Kamei from Kambiron, Puilon Village, Nonay. The operation took place at a suspected hideout in Uruk Mayay Laikai in Falis district on November 7. During the raid, 4 members of the KYKL Sorepa group were apprehended. The individuals arrested have been identified as Hizam Nikhil Singh, 27, Hizam Thanglen Mitay, 30, Thongam Ningthem Singh, 32, and Gobin Ilangbam, 29. The police recovered several items from the location, including 1 SLR-1303 rifle, 2 Maruti Gypsy vehicles, and other incriminating materials. Additionally, 2 drug users who were held captive by the suspects were rescued. The investigation into the case is ongoing. Protests at the Northeastern Hill University NEHU escalated when students on an indefinite hunger strike burned effigies of Vice Chancellor Professor Prabha Sankar Sukla, the Registrar, Deputy Registrar, Academics Officer on Special Duty Director, and other university officials. The students carried out the protests within the university campus with participation from students across the Shillong campus. The protest stems from unaddressed demands raised by the students earlier. Frustrated by the lack of response, they initiated an indefinite hunger strike on November 5 and declared a complete lockdown of the university starting November 6. The students have put forward several demands, including the removal of the registrar and deputy registrar, the appointment of a pro-vice chancellor for the Tura campus, the prompt holding of PGSU elections, and the provision of basic amenities. During the protests, healthcare workers provided medical assistance to members of the KSU, NEHU unit, and NEHU Students Union, who are also on a hunger strike. A day earlier, Vice Chancellor Sukla had addressed the students in a letter, appealing for the withdrawal of the strike and the lockdown of the campus. In his letter, he acknowledged the issues raised by the student against the registrar and deputy registrar, stating, "I understand that there are some issues raised against these individuals by the student community, demanding the removal of the registrar and deputy registrar." However, his appeal was met with a heated exchange as the students refused to engage with him and instead demanded his resignation. The Supreme Court on Friday, November 8, 2024, ordered a cookie organization represented by Advocate Prasan Bhushan to produce audio tapes, materials to substantiate its claim that Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh had himself flared the violence in the northeastern state, which led to the loss of many lives. The organization alleges that it has audio tapes shared by a whistleblower of telephone conversations held by the CM allowing in the infiltration and looting of arms and ammunition which fed the violence. Both Attorney General R. Venkataramani and Solicitor General Tushar Mehta urged the court to not take up the case and then the majesty of the State High Court. Mehta questioned why Bhushan had come directly to the Supreme Court. The bench headed by the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, was exhorted by the top law officers to exercise restraint as peace in the state had come at a huge cost. The CM had held talks with the tribal communities to restore calm. At one point, Mehta indicated that the court may be sitting in an ivory tower. To this, Chief Justice Chandrachud retorted that the court had ordered to see the audio tapes and material because it was not sitting in an ivory tower and was very much alive to the constitutional rights of the people of Manipur. Bhushan, who said he could not reveal the name of the whistleblower whose life was in danger, was asked by the court to produce the evidence in support of his claims in a sealed cover. Union Home Minister Amit Shah today announced that the government will soon come out with a national counter-terrorism policy and strategy with a view to fight terrorism, terrorists and their ecosystem, and maintain that with the joint efforts of state and central governments, violence has been controlled to a great extent in Jammu and Kashmir, Nashal-affected areas and northeastern states during last 10 years. Asserting that there is need to work together to fight terrorism. terrorists and their ecosystem, Shah, while addressing an anti-terrorism conference organized by the National Investigation Agency (NIA) in New Delhi, said it was because of this that they will soon bring a new national counter-terrorism policy and strategy. The two-day conference is being attended by chiefs of states, Union Territory Police Forces, and other top security officials of states and the center. The new policy will help states and central agencies to work in close coordination to deal with terrorism. Shah said, adding security forces have to well-equip young officers and use technology to combat terror. He declared that the Narendra Modi government is committed to eradicate terrorism in India and move forward with a solid strategy against it, and added that the whole world has accepted Modi's zero-tolerance policy against terrorism. The government is committed to remove the evil of terrorism, Shah said. He said due to the joint efforts of state and central governments, violence have been controlled to a great extent in Jammu and Kashmir, Naxal-affected areas in the northeastern states in the last 10 years. Stating that the government has come up with a vision on Model Anti-Terrorism Squad (ATS) and Model Special Task Force (STF) for the states and union territories, the Home Minister said, if adopted, this will work as a common structure and platform to deal with the menace of terrorism. Now the shelf-life of terrorists has decreased from the 2 years to a few days, he said, and highlighted the achievement of the Modi government against terrorism since 2014, during which terror incidents have come down by 70% in comparison to the previous decade. Shah said a 25-point integrated plan has been prepared to stop the funding of terrorism, including jihadi terror and left-wing extremism. He said the scope of Multi-Agency Center (MSC), an intelligence gathering mechanism, was expanded and SOPs were created under it to monitor cybersecurity, narco-terror and emerging radical hotspots, which has led to success in preventing many crimes before they happen. Shah asked representatives of the state police forces at the conference, most of whom are DGP rank officers, to invoke the Anti-Terror Law, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act (UAPA) wherever required. The Home Minister said the central government's anti-terror probe agency, National Investigations Agency (NIA), utilizes UAPA in all terror cases. As a result, so far out of 632 cases registered by it, charge sheet has been filed in 498 cases, conviction in almost 95%. He asked the police chief of the states to establish a synergy down to the level of police station and set up a strong ecosystem against terrorism. Stressing the need to legally strengthen the hands of the institutions fighting the terrorism, he said, therefore, the jurisdiction of the NIA has been increased by amending the NIA Act, and now it can probe terror cases abroad too. A fire at a commercial establishment in Gujarat, Surat, claimed 3 lives on Wednesday night. Another fire at a factory in Maharashtra's Bugan injured 16 people, with 2 of them being hospitalized in critical condition. In yet another incident of fire, a 2-story commercial building in Punjab's Ludhiana was gutted. No casualty was reported in this incident. A fire broke out on Wednesday evening at the Amrutaya Spa and Gym in Surat city-like area, resulting in the deaths of 2 employees. The spa was operational when the fire erupted, while the gym on the same floor was closed. Authorities suspect an electrical short circuit caused the fire. Divisional Fire Officer Haris Gadvi said the gym and a saloon are on the same floor. The gym was closed due to Diwali and 5 people were working in the saloon. 3 people managed to escape, but the other 2 could not escape. The deceased, both women, were from the northeast. The 3 survivors will be questioned. The 2 deceased women were aged between 25 and 27 years. Surat Mayor Dases Kisorbai Mavani said efforts were on to identify if there was any negligence. A forensic team has been called, and those who escaped will also be questioned as part of the investigation into the fire's cause. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says North Korean soldiers joined battles against his country's forces in Russia's western region of Kursk bordering Ukraine and has already suffered losses. Zelensky met the statesman in a news conference in the Hungarian capital of Budapest on Thursday. The president said over 11,000 North Korean soldiers are present in the Kursk region, where Ukraine has been conducting cross-border attacks. He said some of them joined the battles against the Ukrainian military. As for reactions about North Korea's dispatch of its soldiers, Zelensky said while there are countries that reacted, there are countries that had no reaction. He called for a strong response from the international community, insisting that North Korea may increase the number of its soldiers unless there are decisive decisions. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin suggested that Russia could hold joint military drills with North Korea. Putin did not deny the possibility of conducting exercises when he was asked about it at a conference on international affairs in the southern Russia city of Sochi on Thursday. Referring to a comprehensive strategic partnership treaty the two countries signed in June, Putin pointed out that its fourth article allows for mutual military assistance if either country is attacked or in a state of war. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has told U.S. troops that the Pentagon is committed to an orderly transition to the incoming administration of Donald Trump and that the military will not get involved in politics and is ready to carry out all lawful orders. Trump was elected president on November 5, capping a remarkable comeback 4 years after he was voted out of the White House, and ushering in a new U.S. leadership likely to test the resilience of democratic institutions at home and relations abroad. During an interview in October, Trump was asked if he was expecting chaos on Election Day, and he appeared to just suggest the military could be deployed against citizens who oppose him. In a memo to U.S. troops that was publicly released on November 7, Austin said, the U.S. military will also continue to stand apart from the political arena to stand guard over our republic with principle and professionalism, and to stand together with the valued allies and partners who deepen our security. America's friends and foes alike remain wary as they wait Trump's return to office in January, wondering whether his second term will be filled with the kind of turbulence and unpredictability that characterized his first 4 years. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.